Welcome to Living Life with Sean White. There are moments in our life when we feel alone, even when surrounded by people who adore us. Tonight, I felt unwanted, uneven, and removed. My inside soul parts were disconnected from those outside souls around me. My heart hurt. I felt sensitive and fragile. I felt like others had forgotten that I was human, instead seeing me as a character, a party trick, an entertaining toy. With the feels of my heart and mind, the sensations continue beyond my feelings. My pain is a roving chemical fire burning under my flesh. The fatigue relentlessly pulling and nagging at my spirit. My stress sizzling and popping with a lick of boiling grease. Tonight, my mind moved slowly, my processing power low. The weakness of my chemotherapy was strong. The library of my memories were empty. So much of my existence has been lost, so many shelves empty. As I sat at my favorite hotspot on Thursday night, I felt like I sat on the other side of a window, watching a world beyond my reach. It feels like no matter what I do or how much I work, this cancer continues to steal away my life. I am a young man. The journey of the world should still appear infinite and vast. There shouldn't be so many roadblocks. I feel isolated and alone, destined to live a painful existence with this looming, painful burden. Tonight, I am frustrated with this fiery neuropathy, this agonizing chemical fire roving under the surface of my flesh. How long do I have to endure the shortness of breath? I feel like I have been robbed of my life. I want to scream and cry. I want to tear out all of this insanity and return to the life I once had. The life of highs and lows, sadness and smiles. A time before this cancer, when things were hard but not impossibly difficult. I felt like others were trying to hurt my feelings. Things were said that made me feel bad about my appearance. Someone made a comment that made me feel ugly, and it really hurt. I feel embarrassed to say this, but it really made me feel horrible. They used me, my appearance, as an example of how someone else looked ugly and undesirable. Between the cancer, the surgery, and chemotherapy, I have lost my body image. My perception of self has been skewed and torn apart over and over again. There have been so many moments in this journey that I've lost myself, that image of myself. And whenever I try to take it back, there's always the claws of cancer sticking into my flesh and tearing apart everything that I have been working for. I can't believe someone could be so insensitive, so hurtful. I don't understand why they would want to attack me, how they could be so insensitive. Even if they were just picking fun, I've never been mean to this person. I've never nonchalantly broke down how they see themselves. And perhaps that wouldn't bother them. Perhaps they would say it wouldn't bother them, but it bothers me. And I think it would bother most people if in a description someone used your body type as a means to convey how ugly someone else was. There is another person, and I didn't even know them. And though they were drunk with the statements they made about me, it still hurt. Now, I'm what a lot of people would probably call weird. I'm an easy target. It's always been the case. I'm fun, playful, and unusual. I'm willing to throw myself out there, typically willing to take whatever comes my way. But why does someone have to insult me? How would it make them feel if I insulted them? If I spoke to them how they spoke to me? Now, in both of these cases, I could understand if their feelings were attacked, if their heart was just broken, or I did something that hurt them. But I didn't do anything. I was just standing there. I am human, with thoughts and feelings. But so too do these other people. If I want to feel better about tonight, grow from the experience, and prevent it from happening again, I have to filter my feelings through the roots of the tree of life, empathize with these people, and critically think about the evening. My feelings were hurt tonight, but was it because of what these other people said? What other factors may have influenced my reaction? And what can I do to protect myself from this in the future? Let's filter my feelings through the roots of the tree of life. We will spend time with each negative root and see if it applies. The negative roots are denial, false validation, shame, malfunction, false perception, guilt, and regret. Let's start with shame. Society, and perhaps some of you listening, might describe me as a wuss for telling the world my feelings were hurt. I don't care what society or what others might think. You can keep your shame to yourself. I am human. I need to express my feelings. When I hurt, I need to process those feels and let that hurt go. If we all just took some time to say how we felt, our heart zones and soul parts would be much healthier. Of course, this takes us to the next question. What is shame? Shame is one of the 7 negative roots of the tree of life. It is a crushing noun. Its effects touch us in every way we can imagine and more. It pulls us in, chews us up, and spits us out into stringy, meaty bits. It's a grinder making ground meat. Shame prevents us from asking for help. It's what holds us from those we love and destroys our dreams. An example of shame could be said in a few comments. Men don't cry. Suck it up. The actual definition of shame is different than the one we are using here. Shame is a synonym for guilt, but in this instance we're going to define it as the guilt we experience due to society's influence on us, whether real or perceived. I've been told by some that they were surprised I experienced shame. They had an idea of me. I was this person, no, this character who wears everything on their shoulder, giving no peeps about what others say. Truth is, I'm a person, just like anyone else. I am not a character or cartoon. I experience life just like you. And in the past, I've made the attempt to carve my own path out in the rock of shame by living my own life by my own terms. But there are forces that hold me back, just as they would hold you or anyone else. In the past, shame has been one of the most powerful forces in my life. If we want to live life to its fullest, we must move beyond shame and transform it into something greater. By walking this path, we can learn how to put an end to shame. By slicing the negativity from the word, we can turn shame into accountability. One of the 7 positive roots of the Tree of Life. To keep shame from becoming a powerful force in my life, I have to share my feelings. By expressing these feelings, I am tending to their needs. By refusing shame, I can express my emotions. I can feed, pet, and protect my creatures of emotion. False perception is one of the 7 negative roots of the Tree of Life. It is the act of devaluing our significance, role, or value. Though it may be tied to self-deprecation, it includes exaggerated perceptions of self. Believing we are worthless is equally destructive as personal deification. False perception may be easily summed up in the statement, "I am ugly. I am a bad parent. I am the best. I am the wisest." Tonight I embraced the root of false perception. I had thoughts that I was ugly, that I didn't belong, that no one actually likes me, and that others don't see me as a human. By taking these thoughts and focusing them inward, I embraced a false reality. Truly, I am a handsome man. I do belong. People do like me, and others see me as a human. Regret is one of the 7 negative roots of the Tree of Life. If I were to sum up the experience with one word, I would describe it as terrible. Nothing compares to the anguish of regret. Nothing. Regret can be summed up with the sentence, "I wish I could go back in time and do it differently." We can't go back. Nothing can be changed. I want to tell you to stop thinking about it, but that doesn't work. We could use mind over matter as a method, but that doesn't work either. In my experience, there are only 2 methods: a proactive prevention of regret and the act of succumbing to it. The philosophy I call a proactive prevention of regret is to make decisions so you don't have to experience regret. Of course, this works until it doesn't, which is the rule with anything. The other method is to succumb to the experience. Things happen and it may be terrible. I'm not saying to get over it. Instead, explore what happened and learn from it. Maybe discover how to prevent it from happening again. In this instance, I experienced a little bit of regret. There's a small part of me that wishes I would have said to each of these people, "Please don't say those things. It hurts my feelings." A portion of me tells me that if I would have said that, the rest of the evening would have gone differently. Perhaps each of these people would have had a greater understanding of the things they say and how those things impact others. Guilt, false validation, malfunction, and denial simply have no place in this analysis because after some introspection,